Win anything.
Okay, I call the January meeting of Convention and Visitors Bureau to order. I show Kathy Cordes absent and Justin Fortney. So we have a quorum. Public comments, we have none. Consider approval of previous minutes for the December 18th. Has everyone had a chance to look at them? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Financial statement. Andrea, how we looking?
Okay, here we go. I have not updated the salaries wages part because that's through HR and finance office, and I don't have all of those records. But for professional development, I have $530.72 left, which is 70.76% of that budget left. For marketing supplies, our unencumbered is at $15,342.54, which is only 40.2% of our budget remaining. The reason that is we have things like the $10,000 for Lazy E Arena that goes for the full year. Already in that, we have this ad that I've been passing around from Travel OK. We have that bill in that, and several one-year things like the membership to Frontier Country. I went ahead and put the 6 months of advertising with Guthrie News Leader in here as encumbered. So these are things that, and trade shows, travel and trade shows. I meant to bring the list, but I've signed up through Travel OK for, I think it's 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
I know it's Wichita Falls, Wichita, Kansas, Dallas, Travel and Adventure Show. And then we sent stuff to McAllen Winter Texan Expo. Those are shows that run again through, I want to say, at least April, May. So that's why we've used so much, is because honestly we've committed to things that are carrying us through the middle of the year. If you know, our fiscal year ends on September 30th. So this is, we've used over half, but we're, or encumbered over half, but we're having stuff through over half of the year, having benefits. What else have we got? So that's marketing supplies. Under our special events portion, we have $8,500 left. That's 47.22%, so we've used a little over half of that as well. I don't know that we've seen half of the applications for the events coming in. So February meeting is the next time we will look at events applications with the new revised form. So anyway, that's coming up. Convention and trade shows, we have a balance of $5,233.32, which is 65.42% of that budget. And the rest is all through parks. Are there questions about this?
That's good. Because we've spent money in advance, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it is for the whole fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like Frontier Country membership.
Right. And the Lazy E
And the Lazy E.
is for the whole.
The Travel OK ad.
Okay.
Well, we haven't spent the budget, at least it's gone out of it.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
gone up.
I've taken it out as encumbered.
Yeah,
I
encumbered.
put it as encumbered. So,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Any questions for Andrea on the budget or on the finances or anything, guys? Okay, number 5. Discussion and possible action to approve up to $200 of marketing funds for the creation of the Valentine's Day giveaway package. I believe we did a similar package a year ago, did we not?
We did.
And was it for 200?
I think we actually put together 2 packages last year, I think
Okay.
for 400 or close to.
We gave away 2 last year.
Uh-huh, yep.
Okay.
So this year I was thinking of focusing on one. Heath, were you able to get a hold of Chris Evans about, do you know if he's willing to put?
I talked to him,
but I was gonna talk to him again tomorrow at the basketball game,
Okay,
so get it for sure.
There's no basketball game tomorrow.
Oh, there's not. I'll call him.
okay, just checking up on that. I was talking about doing that giveaway on Guthrie News page to see if we got a different audience.
Okay.
But we haven't talked with Chris Evans to make sure that's okay with him yet.
So
We
the,
can still
so the
package.
package is a night stay at the Atomic Loft, $50 at Roma's, $20 for Rick's Chocolate, and 2 vouchers to Pollard. I think that's a great package.
Mhm. Any thoughts or
Any
just?
thoughts, or do I have a motion?
I'd say motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second it.
Verb.
I want to get seconded.
Any other discussion? I think these are great, they help us out, so. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved?
Are you okay if I try to do this on Guthrie News page, if
I
Chris
like
is
the
good?
idea myself.
Good idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, just wanted
Well,
to
and
double check
since
on
his
that.
numbers showed that he gets a little heavier reaction out of the Dallas area, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Leadership.
Good deal. Might help drive traffic to him,
Yeah.
so.
Number 6, discussion and possible action to approve up to,
Oh, did I screw up on my agenda?
how about this possible action to purchase giveaway bags?
Yeah,
Okay,
I was going to put the amount in there and I
To-
decided we could go several directions.
okay,
so-
action to approve to purchase, okay, I get it.
Yeah, to approve to
Purchase
Giveaway bags.
giveaway bags for travel or trade shows. You want, what do you have in mind?
What I have in mind, okay, so this is one of those things where sometimes we create bags for groups if they're registering for things, sometimes I'm asked for bags. Another thing we can use these for, if we decide to package materials where we're having a booth at things, people can come, instead of picking up 6 different brochures, they can just pick up a bag with all of them. Another thing we could use these for is, I know we've talked about doing travel trade show tracking. I got business cards that say, you saw me at, has a blank for me to fill in, like Hilti Tulsa, or Hertz, Oklahoma City, or Wichita Falls Women's Expo, where they can then go and turn this in either to my office or to one of the local hotels if they're on board with it, to get a goodie bag that contains a phone charger, a map, information about Guthrie, one of the Rick's chocolate bars, ink pen, stylus, ding, as kind of a way to track if we're getting hotel bookings from trade shows. And then each month I could go back to hotels and ask them for the cards to see if we've had activity come from that.
What's our cost?
Our cost for these, if we were to just do bags, there's 2 options. One is if we get pre-printed paper bags. This is where our logo's on it. I didn't price a whole lot because I didn't know if there was going to even be support for the idea. If we do 250 bags, the lowest cost is around $200, 180 to 201. If we do 500 of the pre-printed bags, costs go, again, it's not quite as much because the printing, you don't have the setup fee twice. It's anywhere from $246 to around $400. Our other option, we could buy blank paper bags. I'm gonna have to ask volunteers to stuff bags anyway. And we could buy a stamp, a big rubber stamp that has our logo on it and a website, and we could stamp the bags. Now that's kind of a homemade feel, but Guthrie's a lot about homemade, traditional, hand touched. And to me, if we've already got the volunteers, then we'll have the stamp too if we ever need to use it for other things. So the cost for that goes down for 250 bags instead of $180 to $201. It goes down to $66 or $75 for 500 of those plain paper bags. We could spend $130 up to $164, and the stamp itself is ranges, if we do a stamp and an ink pad, it's about $55 for the custom stamp, $12 for an ink pad. So, I should have totaled this up for all of us for the blank paper bags. If we did 500 blank paper bags at $140 and added in 67 for the stamp supplies and ink pad, we're looking at a total of, that's $207 for that, for 500. I just threw a lot of numbers out there, sorry.
Thoughts, anyone?
I don't like the stamped idea.
I don't either,
Okay.
but I want someone else to say that.
Okay, that's fine.
If you had somebody that did calligraphy or something like that, nice look or whatever, that'd be, to me, better than a stamp. I just don't.
Okay.
For the stamp,
I'd rather
we're
see it
gonna do I
professionally
would.
done.
Okay. That's fine.
I think it's your first, it's your first impression.
I agree.
Yeah.
Even before you look in the bag.
But I appreciate you trying to save us money.
Yeah.
I mean, serious,
okay.
I'm serious. I think that's important, but if
Yeah.
we're gonna do it, I'd like to do it so that it's nice.
So do we have a thought? Do we want her to start with 250 bags?
The only other way you could do it is if you got like a sticker or something.
Yeah, well, we do
Yeah,
have
okay.
clear
But
stickers,
they have to
but
be
the placement would have to be,
decent
yeah.
size. And you
Put
know,
on
Yeah.
exactly right or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd
That
rather
means
just
you
print
got
it
the
if
same
we
looking,
do
no,
that.
yeah, let's print
Yeah, I
it.
think the pre-printed would be better.
I was just
You
thinking
save you
that
time.
I just buy them
the
printed.
Guthrie word looks kind of small on the bag too. I don't know if you could make it more pronounced. I know that's the logo itself, but, so that they don't just throw away the paper bag before they see
Yeah.
the outside, but.
Is it on both sides? One side.
I was just having it on one side, I
One
just
side?
priced printing on one side,
Yeah.
so.
You get a sponsor? Yes.
Well, my thing was in the future, maybe we could get a sponsor to do several logos and do a cloth bag that's reusable.
Yeah.
But the prices for that were
Quite a bit.
astronomical, so.
Well, even for this bag, if you get a sponsor.
Mhm. Sponsor to do, I don't know what the price would be to add a logo to the other side,
Yeah.
so. Do you want me to do some research and re-examine this? I know we won't be able to then track for the trade show coming up February 10th, but, you know.
Are these like
Well,
a
just-
brown bag? Or
Just
is there a
remember it
color?
from next time.
I was doing just a brown craft paper bag.
Mhm.
I know the cost goes up about 10 cents a bag for white paper bags.
Looks better on his computer.
Yeah, I know I didn't print this
And the
in color.
Guthrie shows up there. That's
So.
great.
HC, I think that's a good idea though. If it's
Mm.
professionally done, Guthrie on one side, the sponsor on the other,
Yeah.
it's a benefit for
Get the
both.
chamber to buy the other side.
There you are.
There we go.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there, HC, just for you.
Well, the chamber and the newspaper, you know.
She probably would.
But you don't have to do it this time if you need to get them out for February, you know, the next time we.
Well, it's up to you guys. If you
Where's
want
our
to-
February 10th show at?
Wichita Falls Women's Expo,
Okay.
so Wichita Falls, Texas. So. yeah.
But we're not, are we taking these to the expo?
Nope, these would be, we'd have about a week, I think, or more. It depends how, if, I don't know how long
Right.
after someone comes to the show, if they go
Right,
book
because
a
we
hotel that
technically
night,
wouldn't
or
need
if
them
it's
until
a
after
week.
the show.
Yeah, but it would
So-
still be before the next meeting, so.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I'd say do it, but, I mean, I'm open to,
I mean, I could just start at 250 and we could look at bag sponsors for future. I know 250 is a minimum order for a lot of, some of them have lesser, you know, the lower numbers you go, the more the cost goes up per bag, so.
Well, we'll look at, 250 might just go just like that,
Yeah, we really have no idea since we haven't
Yeah.
tried it before.
but I think it'll go pretty fast because you've already decided what to put in it, right?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
yeah.
do I have a motion?
To go ahead and do it, yeah.
Yeah.
But what amount, 250 or 500?
I need a motion.
I'll motion.
At what amount?
I'll go 500.
Yeah, because it drops it from like $1.28
Yeah.
to 80 cents. It's about a 35%
Okay.
savings.
What are you doing, sponsor on the other side this round or waiting?
if Andrew could get it, that'd be fine. If not, then we'll probably just have to go ahead, you know.
So
What, how much cost are you trying
I
to
have
sponsor
no idea.
for, just, yeah? We don't have set rates of fees.
$418.55. Plus the other side's printing.
Yeah.
So the motion is to authorize Andrea to order 500 bags of the pre-printed Guthrie bag for giveaways. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved, ma'am. 500 bags it is. I'll let you catch up with us.
Thank you. I'm ready.
Okay. Item 7, discussion and possible action to approve staff to spend up to $600 to create a giveaway package for promotion through Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department, Travel OK. And this is what, a social media giveaway, or is this?
Yes, Travel OK does these promotions. I believe they send it out in their email list and they put it on their Facebook and they push all of these. I don't know if you've gotten their emails or signed up to their email list, but they do giveaways and it's to their whole audience. Blake Parks is our sales guy for Travel OK, and he told us that typically they do a 2-night stay. We could go a 1-night stay for the package. They've done that before, which would bring the cost down. They usually do some food, an attraction or activity, some shopping, or anything else we'd like to promote as the Guthrie experience. We're kind of squeezing it in real tight to get something put together for 89ers Day, because they, mid-December, mid-January is kind of the next opening that he reported last October, and I haven't followed up. I meant to follow up with him today and see what's open now. But with this authorization, we could go ahead and I could at least call him and say, what's your next available? See if we have any events in town coming up during that time and build a package around that. Because of that, I left this pretty generic. The budget
Okay.
pretty generic. I didn't price specific B&Bs or attraction activities. I just kind of guessed at some numbers based on what I could find out there based on rates. So,
Okay.
yeah, it was something that we talked about doing. I know their following is something, it's astronomical. It's something like 400,000, you know, across the nation in Germany, and yeah, it's might be a good opportunity to get somebody out of town to an event.
So do we need to have her check with that back and report, and just, if they can get 89ers, go for it, or if,
So how would we track a response?
Well, I mean, obviously there's going to be a winner,
Mhm.
and Travel
Yeah, I
OK would do
understand.
that. As far as them coming back again, I don't know. As far as people seeing our page or what.
So
They
how does-
give pretty good data, but I can ask Blake
Okay.
exactly what,
So how do they choose a winner?
I'll ask.
Is it that they hit Guthrie?
Andrea, I'm not understanding exactly how this is working. Are we providing the B&Bs that go into this? And
Yeah.
we're-
Would be,
It
yeah,
is
we
some
put together a package for them to give away that's generally all inclusive, and it helps people click in, see what Guthrie's about, and if they don't win, maybe they'll want to plan a trip anyway. It's more exposure than it is
So they click on the
getting
package.
17 or 20
Okay.
people here, you know, it's more of raising awareness through Travel OK.
Okay, so then we could even, so they can track how many people click onto that package, and then
It's-
they get a number.
Yeah, it's kind of like we do with our social media giveaway. You
I think it's worth a
know,
try then, yeah. If it's,
I don't know
If you
exactly
find a
how they
response
choose
and
the
then-
winner. I believe it's a random selection.
okay, and then I guess they
Um,
could track where that,
But I mean, if a
Customers
B&B
come.
wants to donate a 2-night stay, it just reduced our amount.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes,
That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure I'm
yeah,
understanding.
and I would
But-
happily ask.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well,
to me, it would be a benefit.
Or match it, you know,
Yeah.
one night,
Mhm.
one night,
Exactly.
you know, split it.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
why don't if I'm understanding, we wanna see if we can get in on 89ers, otherwise what time frame we can get in on, is that what we're saying at this point?
I mean, I know, the
Cause
thing is,
we
I
don't
know,
wanna give it away.
I don't
in the
wanna
middle.
ask them right before the next meeting and then,
No, but
you
we
know.
don't wanna give it away in the
and
middle of
then-
summer when we don't
okay.
have events going on.
Well, that might be a good package for,
Might even
Red
be-
Brick Nights.
I was gonna say that might even be a good package for like 4th of July, Red Brick Nights or something.
like that even. If you don't get it for 89ers,
Yeah, I mean, then we'll continue to have, we have Guthrie Escape or Bluegrass Festival
Right.
Well,
or,
the positive thing about 89ers
Turn
is
for
that it's
Christmas.
relatively unique
Mhm.
for that date.
Yeah.
Whereas lots of towns have 4th of July
Yeah.
program.
When water stuff,
Um,
yeah.
I'm trying to see if there was something, is it in this,
the giveaway.
travel okay?
The giveaway or what?
No, where you would see,
Probably on their website.
it's on their
Is that
website.
you're talking about on
On
their
their
website,
website?
is where people would see it?
Yeah, yes, it's on their website, it's through their email list, and it's through their social media.
Oh, okay, all three things,
All
okay.
three. But yeah, I don't know that they do their giveaways, they don't print, they would have to know everything before
Beforehand.
October when they do their designs for that to get it in the next year, so.
So you'd have some kind of an idea how many hits by,
I can
Yeah,
ask them
quote
for those
applications or
averages, and we
whatever.
can always table this and come back to it, so,
I would say research it and see what they've got open and then,
okay. Do you want, cause what I'm worried about is when, what's open is going to change, maybe from
Yeah.
week to week. So,
I guess my thought is if we can get in on 89ers, we should do it.
okay,
If we can't get in on 89ers, then we need to, we know when the events are, we need to pick one further out. Or like
Are you
HC,
saying, I'm sorry.
or like HC said, we know when Red Brick Nights is gonna be throughout the summer. If they've got a slot in there that can get somebody in town.
I was just wondering if the package is the date specific, or is it a package they can use anytime, or is it just on these events?
That's a good
weekends?
question.
It is a great question.
That's a good question.
'Cause,
well,
yeah.
if the activity tickets that we put into the package
If they're
are
specific.
date specific, then it would be a date specific, but I think it's kind of however we want to build it. I know, I wanna say they did one for Beaver's Bend Cabins, and it was whenever, they did have some blackout dates, I think, but people could go anytime during the year. We have the option of building it that way too, not
Yeah, I would
event
do it like
specific.
It opens people up to
Mhm.
Yeah.
coming to Guthrie another time. They
Yeah.
might come to the big thing too, which is on our advertising.
That's true.
But that bed and breakfast has to consider that room is taken,
Mhm.
and then it would have been taken maybe on a big weekend,
Oh, okay.
That's good news.
so.
And then if for some reason they don't use it, that B&B that donated 2 nights for that date is out of a room.
Mhm.
So I would almost do it as an open.
That would give me flexibility too, to do more research and just,
Okay.
and not have to worry about trying to get in certain dates for events.
So let's bring it back to the
Subject
February
to
meeting.
availability.
Do you want it in February when we've got all the event
No,
requests?
March.
Or March?
is
Okay.
fine. March is fine.
Do we need a motion?
So if I are we, okay, do we want no action on it, we're just gonna put it on the March agenda, or do we wanna table it, guys? Table it, I need to specify what meeting it's going on.
Well, I think we could get this, like you said, approve it on the March, so it'll be ready for.
Okay, so we'll table it till the March meeting.
Spring is a great time to get those packages out there, cause people are thinking about where do I wanna go this year.
Okay.
So I make a motion to do that.
To table, okay,
No, what you just said, to have it on the agenda for March?
Yes.
Okay.
any objections? Okay, done.
Can I go back a few?
No,
Please. I talked to Chris and he said he's fine with pushing it on his Facebook page.
Oh,
Cool.
wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yay, text.
Technology.
okay.
The Valentine's Day thing.
Can we skip 8 real quickly? Because that way if Dan does have to leave here in about 45 minutes, if we get tied down, everything else is just discussion items. Can we go to 9, guys? Discussion and possible action. This is pretty easy, to increase postage cap from $50 to $100 a month for the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department brochure fulfillment program. Andrea,
Okay.
I think this is just a simple postage increase, isn't it?
Well, actually, it's 2 things. Postage went up just 1 cent, and so we had set our monthly cap at $50, which allowed us to send out 102 brochures, or well, they sent out 102 brochures on our behalf. They sent out in January. I haven't got the full report yet, but they pulled our brochure from they pull our brochure from their website when they've hit our monthly cap, and they did that from January 1st to January 8th. They pulled it on January 8th because they'd already sent out 102 brochures. I didn't know how many when we got started with this they were going to have per month. There was some mix-up about our brochures, so they just started it in January. We haven't been paying anything for it though, so we're not out. We will be out postage in the future. We can still keep the cap at $50, and it will be available each month until they hit that cap, which would be 100 brochures now that they've sent out on our behalf. Or I don't know if we wanted to increase it to $100 a month, give them the possibility to send out 200 of our brochures on our behalf. It is cheaper. We get a slight discount through our postage meter if we send out our brochures in-house, and I do that. But I know Travel OK gets a lot more traffic than I do.
So these are being sent in response to a request?
Yes, people go on the
Okay.
Travel OK website and they can click a page that's brochures available for travel, and they can select the ones they want. Travel OK will then mail that out on our behalf. They've been updating me too more regularly on their stock of brochures. I think they said there's around 1,400 still left in stock, so we still have a few that they
So
can,
that's
they
good
can
news
send out.
that the requests are really taking all of our commitment in terms of the dollars for mail out by the middle of the month.
Yeah, well, by the first
By the
week of the
first
day.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we
I
do
would-
need to increase it.
I
don't
would say
you-
we need to increase it to
Yeah.
100, because I don't want them to pull that thing off the website when they if they hit it at day 8 of the month, and
That's a whole, 3 weeks still left.
that's 3 weeks of us not getting any publicity on the website.
Don't
Well,
you
I need to
also,
go through that brochure.
because Van at the Pollard told me that they also send him email addresses of everybody that,
They
Did you
will.
get that?
They haven't sent me the first. They do the reports at the end of the month.
okay.
They did go ahead and
Yeah,
they did
so
let me know
we'll-
they pulled our brochure. 'Cause
We'll
we
also
put
get
our
all the
cap,
marketing
but-
information from the
That's-
people
yeah.
that have requested so we could follow up with them.
That's valuable.
Yeah, I'm gonna
later.
send them an invitation to join
So-
for our newsletter
A
and
motion to
other
fund
things.
that.
Okay.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was easy. There you go, Andrea.
So is there a carryover? Let's just say they only have 75 requests this month. Does that mean that there'd be 125 next month?
No, they
No.
only bill us for
Okay.
what they use.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Oh, okay.
so
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. I don't see, let's go back to number 8 then, because I think that's all our action items. So on Friday, for those that didn't make it, Verla was there, the mayor came. We had a very interesting meeting with Griffin Communications over at Stacy's, about an hour long or so. I think there's books there, if we brought enough books for you to,
I have mine at home.
okay. So the gist of it was that, and I had to reread this again, but the gist of it was that they made a proposal to come to Guthrie and get involved in some TV marketing with us. Now, we've not committed to anything. We probably need I think the feeling was when we left on Friday was we probably need to call Channel 4 and Channel 5 and Fox
We
And-
wanted to look at other.
and see if they want in on this and see if they wanna submit proposals to us.
I will anyway, because purchasing policy
See,
is
yes.
anytime it's over
Big
$1,000, I gotta have at least 3 quotes for comparable services.
Now, this stuff's pretty cool, and I actually watched Channel 53 over the weekend, cause I wanted to see what the rolling ads look like on the side. On the side, and they do rotate, on a regular basis. Now, a lot of the stuff was for like Channel 52, Channel 53 News, is obviously the cheaper way to go versus
12.
Channel 9. But there's a lot of stuff in here that, for time's sake, I think if you guys would read this, we're nowhere near, I would assume, Andrea, making decisions.
No.
But there's a lot of stuff in here that outlines numbers as to how many commercials they would run. I thought the gal did an excellent job. Verla, what'd you think?
Oh, yeah.
Mayor, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought her presentation was very good, but I do think that, hearing it from all the competitors.
Well, correct.
Is obviously the way to go, and I think we've got a great product. I think consolidating, putting all of our activities, looking at this package deal for all activities that go out throughout the year, or at least most of them, is a great selling point. And I do think that we've got some exclusive things that we could work into this that would make us attractive to them, not just from a dollars and cents standpoint of getting a contract, but having an exclusive opportunity to interview Verla Raines or whoever. I think there's some opportunity there.
And the thing that sort of excited me about one of the things she proposed was what they call donut ads. So they run the ad and they say Guthrie on the front end, and they put whatever our activity is, whether it's 89ers or Victorian Walk or Guthrie Escape or Bluegrass in the middle of the ad, and then they finish it with Come to Guthrie. And they do all the ads for us. They track the ads for us, so this is something Andrea wouldn't have to make the ads, or now they will use Aaron's stuff on some of the stuff he's taped. We did ask that question. So they will use stuff that he's taped. But it's really pretty cool.
But is the rate based on the stations we choose to advertise on, or how does that work?
Well, I know the rates are usually set somewhat with the station and mostly by the reach of the station. So what that is, and they do have a map in here of their area, and their broadcast area, and I'm sure when we get other proposals, we'll get maps of their area too.
Here's the coverage map.
Okay.
Did I understand something though, that it wasn't the Channel 9, it was the sister 9 point, like I have 9.2 on antenna, and it's also, what'd you say,
52. Yeah.
52.
Which I don't get that, but it'd be that way on some cables, I guess.
Yeah, I knew
But,
it's
so it's not the Channel 9.
correct. This
But
would
it's
be
the one that does-
packages for News 9 Now, which is the news that runs continuously, or during storm season, they will run regular programming. When your News 9, News Channel 9 is all, full of weather, they'll tell people to go to News 9 Now for weather or news anytime, or KSBI, which they're calling News 9 Plus, which is channel 52. What I asked them for was a 6-month package
Right.
with a fairly low cap for TV advertising. I said a monthly total was $2,500. My vision was to do some sort of donut advertising where events could partner and split the cost with us to get their 15 seconds in the middle, maybe help them with their TV advertising costs, and with some group buying power, and get us a little exposure in that too. And that's what I plan to go to other stations with, unless you direct me otherwise, and then I can tell her to adjust. I can tell this woman to adjust this quote. I want to make sure whatever bids I get, they're all for the same thing.
This included the social media, like the pencil pen, the drop downs.
It includes some digital advertising, I think on their website. I don't know
Yes.
about on social, I don't think social media, but at least.
Well, I guess Aaron said that they also give us the ad to use as we wish for social media.
Yes.
So,
And
And the 6 months, what I understood her to say, it doesn't have to be contiguous, it's
Correct.
We
what
could-
we pick out.
She recommended contiguous, but it doesn't have to be contiguous.
So it could split up a little bit to fit our major events.
So was Glenda, what's her last name?
Redeganda?
Was she at this presentation?
She was not, she had something come up last minute, but I met with her prior. I met with her the day before. She kinda talked over me what.
But 89ers came,
Mhm.
Victorian Walk came.
Yeah.
The
Lely
reason I
Ray
was
came.
asking about Glenda is that she dealt with this. She was
Yes.
so knowledgeable on this. She knew what she was talking about. She was an expert. It's been, you know, a local expert that might be able to help us.
What she
make
told
decisions.
me, kind of condensed situation, was that when we start out, they don't know what to expect from us, and we don't know what to expect from them. The advertising rep will meet, you know, try to put a package together with what we've got, and that oftentimes, once you've established your relationship and they know you're a good client for a while, they'll work with you to increase frequency, so we may be able to get more 15-second spots or different things like that that we can negotiate on down the line once they know, you know, because they said they get a lot of calls of people, they want to try something out for a month or 3 months, and it really, they said it kind of makes it, they don't, you know, they don't treat them as their long-term, their long-term clients. But once you've kind of set up and established that you can start gaining traction with them, you know, if they do see that you can add value to, through, for example, like the mayor's thing, where maybe we could give exclusive interviews at personalities at 89ers or something like that, to maybe push. I know she did note that, and this is for ethics in journalism, their salespeople can't tell their news crews who to follow and what to follow, because you would hate for some advertiser to come in and say, you can't cover this thing because they're my friend, but it's newsworthy. Or all the news to be owned by, you know, whatever clientele you've got, so.
And they
There are
actually,
some
and they
others
actually
in
gave
there.
the pretty good example of the guy with the Richardson's Homes, where he got busted for, and they called and said, you can't put that on the news. And the advertiser goes,
Yeah, we have nothing to do
We
with
don't
what
have
the news
anything to
crew
do with the
covers,
news
there is
side.
separation there.
so if
So-
you want advertising, we can do that, but we can't help that
Mhm.
your guy got busted
So,
for stuff, so. So anyhow, if you'll read this, and we'll start working on getting stuff with the other channels so that we can work on this. This is a long-term thing, this is not something that is gonna happen in time for 89ers, unfortunately, because it will have to go to council for approval once we get it right.
Well, I think it depends on how much our total cost
Okay.
is, really. If it's under the purchasing policies, then Leroy can
Okay.
approve it internal. We may wanna take it to council to honor council in that decision, but,
Okay.
it's a big thing.
So where are we going with this? Basically, like 89ers or?
I'm planning to
Metro
start with events, and if we have gaps, I would then probably approach local business owners to see if they want to partner to do a middle section, because there are businesses here that attract a lot of people and may be interested in trying a month's worth of television advertising in that 15-second spot. So just doing a 15-second out of a 30-second
So
commercial.
were you able to find out or get some numbers of how much TV advertising did we use in 2017?
I
With
sent
all
that
our
out prior to this meeting, I don't have it with me right now, and it ranged, I think it ranged from $3,000 to $5,000 per event that took advantage of that. I don't have a total, but I do that, and the cost for the spots varied from very inexpensive to very, very expensive, depending on when it was shown. You know, if it was shown during prime time
Yeah.
on the main channel, it was very, very expensive spots. If they showed it, at other times, it wasn't so bad. So, and sometimes they would even, throw in, I know in here, she put in some stuff that she didn't charge for, some $10 spots. There was some, she put in for free, even. If you look at page 113, but look through this, and if you have questions, let me know.
Yeah, I'm looking at, we're getting this package, and then we're trying to save money for all our events, you know, so they can get a better rate on the advertising more than anything else.
And I also asked Andrea that even though we've just signed the contract with Lazy E, maybe we can get them to come back into the fold on some of the and help us
Yeah, maybe they want to do a.
defray some of the costs if we can package that together too, so.
Just out of curiosity, how long are the prices that she listed here good for? Are they locked in for a certain amount of time? Are they subject to change?
That is a good question that I did not ask. I can follow up with her and see.
I suspect there'll be some more negotiations going on before we finalize anything, especially as we get more competition from others. Just breaking into this, it's a new path for us.
I think it's exciting.
I think it's really exciting.
Well, and we saw the benefits, like a Victorian Walk, that they.
Victorian Walk
decided to
said
go
they
for
felt like they
TV.
saw a big uptick
Yeah.
in traffic because of their TV advertising.
So did
So
Guthrie
did
Escape.
Guthrie
And,
Escape.
Yeah,
so,
the TV
and
on.
I know 89ers did, even though we had bad weather, I know because a lot of people said they saw it on TV, so. Cool.
I'll keep moving forward on other quotes, and I'll find out if there's a,
That's a good thing to ask, how long is this quote good for? Of any of the stations.
Okay. Do we wanna do marketing materials, or do we wanna go through Guthrie Post event and Red Bud Awards?
up to you, Chairman.
Okay, why don't we, because that marketing materials could take us a little bit, because is that what you're gonna do the board on?
It is, yeah.
So can we do Red Bud Awards? What's the,
So Red Bud Awards, they're open for, last year we applied and I think we got, the best new event, Red Brick Nights, that we won, essentially runner-up. I think it was not honorable mention, but I forget their specific title for that. Anyway, I looked through their categories. This is all for stuff that happened in 2017. And I've got to admit, in 2017, I was kind of getting on my feet. Spent most of that, because I didn't officially start until May. I've looked at our website versus others. There's still a lot of work that I'm doing on our website, so I don't feel prepared to apply for that.
You guys are on your own, make sure you lock up.
Thank you, Leroy.
thank you, Leroy.
Not going home unless y'all need something.
Enjoy.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Looking at, I know maybe one possibility is outstanding media coverage. That was one category. I could look into, because we got a lot of most beautiful towns and a lot of rankings by groups. So I could contact one of those media companies and see if they, if we want to apply for that. That's any discussion. Any of you have any other ideas or wants or yes or no for me to pursue
I mean, that
this?
outstanding lodging property, the Atomic Loft just got voted best bed and breakfast in the state.
But they didn't open in 2017, did they? Did they?
They just had an open house
They
recently.
just
I don't
opened.
know.
I'd have
So it
to,
had
I
to
could
have
check with
happened in
her.
2017?
It had to happen in
Oh.
2017 for it to be eligible.
Okay. Well, then keep that on the back burner for next year.
Yeah.
Cause they were open like 2 days and they received best bed and breakfast in the state.
I thought they might have
I can ask.
opened just before the Christmas,
Okay.
I
They
don't
may
know.
have.
I thought that they did.
I'll ask.
Yeah.
Cause that's a good idea.
But either
I
way-
really,
either way,
they
this
just
year,
won
next
this
year.
award. That's a good
Yeah.
deal. I'll ask, cause if that is, that's,
I mean, cause they've already kind of, I don't know who gave that award out, but, I mean, they kind of already won it.
Have we submitted, John Pagonis, his,
Haunted house.
Halloween thing?
Outstanding event. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Or attraction, would there be an attraction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I could do outstanding
What's that,
attraction.
what's John's?
Haunts, the
Campgrounds.
campgrounds.
Oh, okay,
Haunted house.
okay.
I mean, I know he pulls a lot from it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of activity there.
That's a good idea too.
Not knowing exactly what their criteria is, but
How long's he been out there?
I think it's longer, I think he's been out there longer than 3 years.
Okay, cause that's what I was wondering which one he'd fall under.
Yeah, cause, well, he's been there at least 4 because he was out there before I got sick, so I know that.
Well, that gives me a couple things to research into. Would you all be comfortable if I applied for one or the other, depending on,
Works for me.
which one, and does it just matter, or does it,
As
whatever?
many as you want.
I guess I could say if Atomic Loft opened in 2017, I could push for that. Otherwise, I could just.
Can you only
back
do
3
one?
months. You know?
It says $25 per nomination.
Yeah, $25 per category. So we could do more than one if we wanna put $50.
I'd say if they both fall under 2017, do them both.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both awesome. I mean, we got a good chance of doing something with both of them.
I don't think so.
So I'd say if they both fall under 2017, do them both, and then if not, keep the Atomic Loft
Yeah.
for next year. Now you gotta turn that into a motion, cause I can't make a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Dan.
Love it.
Well, it's really just a discussion item, so, and,
Yeah, I should have probably put action on there, but at least I was trying to get guidance, and I know it takes me some time to get this put together, so.
Well,
Aaron's
That's
asking
okay.
on the outstanding media coverage, does that include social media?
This is saying radio, television, online, or newspaper. And they would need published article, tear sheets, a CD, or DVD. So, I like the idea of doing one of our attractions better, though, to be honest.
yep.
I really don't wanna try to put applications together for 3 with all the trade shows coming up and the rest of the stuff.
Well, no, I think he was, cause I just know like on some of our social
Oh,
media,
that's true, we've done
so
all that.
some of our social media posts have skyrocketed on reach and
Well, we
views.
can't do best social media
So-
campaign, that is some of those.
Well, let's see what you got for either lodging or, and then let's put it on the February agenda,
Okay,
because when's it due by?
March 2nd.
So we could do it on February agenda and approve the expense in February.
Yeah, I thought for $50, I could probably
We could probably
do that internally, but,
But
but I could
Okay.
at least give you what I've got.
to officially do it.
Officially, officially
can-
see my
It's
application.
due when?
March 2nd.
But if we bring it back to the next meeting, that only gives you a week to get everything together.
Well, I'm figuring I'll have to have it all together by next
By
meeting, but
then,
at least I'll have a
oh.
sense of what
And then
you're
bring it to
doing,
the
and
meeting.
then you can all look over my application and say, you misspelled these things and you put a word up on the agenda that didn't need to be there. So, I need backup, so, thank you.
And I'd suggest that you maybe put this on your agenda every 3 or 4 months. So
Just
that-
discuss what's going on.
Just to keep
Yeah.
it up front, so
Yeah.
that it's not
Good
coming
idea.
up.
So we're not trying to figure out what all went on.
Because I can see a number of opportunities here, but easy for us to say, let's submit this, when this young lady here has to put it all together.
Well,
They've
and
got an
also,
online form now though, so.
but it would also be one we could sort of start a file and then when it comes around to next year, we already got it there and we just couldn't do it.
How long did it take you last year?
Last year Sierra Graham did it for me, but
Okay.
she was my part-time employee,
Okay.
intern, and I know she spent a good 4 weeks on it,
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
20 hours a week, so. But
And
I'll
it's
go
time
for it, I
Well,
mean,
and two, with this, if we keep it in front of us
Mhm.
as events apply, we can kind of keep that in our mind too, that, hey, this may be a good event for this category or something too.
Yeah.
yeah, we're good.
If not this
good
year,
media.
next year,
Yeah.
just to mature it,
Yeah.
to keep it on the front burner, otherwise,
That way we're not sitting here at the last minute.
otherwise
Trying
they're
to think of-
vaporized.
Guthrie
Yeah.
Escape post event.
You're right.
Yep.
Ah,
Way to
There's-
go, Mayor, way to go.
I know, I read it.
You get to see a lot of things
Yeah.
vaporized, but you get the big ones.
Okay, so we will bring that to February meeting for just the dollars that we're gonna spend, which will probably be about 25 or $50,
I would
folks.
say dollars in draft. Draft
And draft, okay. Okay, I'm gonna skip to 12, discussion of 2017 Guthrie Escape. Post-event report is required. I thought they did a really good job on the report.
They
And-
told me that they thought it was 90 days after the end of the year versus 90 days after the event. I thought I was pretty clear on that in all the forms, but
It is-
we got it, so
You got it.
they
It is-
were very, very apologetic.
Well, this is still good. I
Still,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, we
A lot of
have,
information here.
Are you seeing that?
Oh, is it this?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
and how much did we give them? We gave them 5,000, right, for the TV? I'll pull my budget.
Yeah, it'll be in there.
I got I'll pull my budget. I think it was 5.
I didn't think it was all the,
It's
I
a
don't think it
separate
was as much as.
Deal.
No, good.
I guess we'll.
Because they asked for more than I thought.
Is there one, Verla, is there one in that packet?
Guthrie Escape, we gave four.
4, okay.
So we gave Guthrie Escape $4,000 last year.
There is.
It was a, it's a
She
separate,
spent 5.
yeah, it's a separate thing.
And they spent,
The mayor wanted to.
they spent
you
5
got
on
one?
TV.
Yeah.
Here, you can have this. Take that.
It was in my packet though.
So they used even $1,000 more than we gave them on their TV. And they still mentioned us as, thankfully, as a sponsor.
Page 24.
Yep, 24.
Our logo.
Jim.
I have the official program and this, if you, I just made copies of it and their big poster, if anybody needed to see that.
So this is a discussion item, just you guys can read it at your own. I mean, we thank Guthrie Escape for getting it to us.
Is there any questions you want me to take back to them?
I think you did a great job.
I think it was good. Nope, are they looking, the only thing I think, did they say, are they gonna do the same next year with keeping it separate from Bluegrass? Yeah, they
I
are.
believe that's,
Well,
they
they were
said they
really
were.
pleased with
Yeah.
the
With it
turn-
being a
they were
separate
really
weekend,
pleased,
okay.
yeah.
They were,
They had the better weather too,
They
the
were,
bluegrass
yeah.
got
But aren't
rained
they
out.
looking for
So it'll
somebody?
be the last weekend in September.
In September,
Oh, I don't
okay.
know.
Like 29th or something.
Okay.
Like that.
and I guess just seeing the advertising locations on the back, the first page and second page, I guess, as well as some of the other ad costs back with the Oklahoman. I think the model that we're using to concentrate our efforts, or consolidate our efforts with the media, with the video media, we ought to be considering that as we move forward with the Oklahoman, and if they all use the Gazette, you know, down the road, just purchasing power, just,
Yep.
it's what it is, what it is.
Okay, 6:25. Mr. Newton, how we doing?
I'm good, I've got
Okay.
30 minutes, 20 minutes. Oh my God.
Back to 10. Discussion of marketing materials, marketing brochures, digital tour products, apps, and maps. Andrea, you're on. I think this is you.
Yes, okay. So I passed around, this is what we're currently using for our marketing brochure. I don't know if you are all aware of that, but it's your
This-
Visit Guthrie, this. Now, you open it up, first round, you can see different things you can do, a notes page, a little bit of history. You turn around to the back, it's got our festivals, it hasn't got specific dates, but it's got a list of our annual festivals, it does have the months they're in. Our website. And then if you open it up in the middle, it's got this very artistic illustration of the downtown area. And it's got listings of everything. And it's got names, addresses, and phone numbers. Okay, so I would like to change this because this was originally produced, kind of the concept for this was produced back when tourism was managed by the Guthrie Chamber of Commerce. And it makes sense to list your members who have something to do with tourism and your attractions on there. And this is useful to people, but it's, from what I've heard, it's hard to adapt. I've got a list of some of the pros and cons. It's relatively inexpensive to print. People can write on it, which is good when they're making plans. It's relatively inexpensive to mail. The cover is really attractive. People like it. They click on it if they want it. We are now able to modify this in-house. So I have the source document. I can go into Aaron's office and open Photoshop and edit the listings. It fits in a standard brochure rack. And the detailed business listings give a good scope and overview of all the options of things to do locally. Some of the challenges though, we cannot order, I don't like ordering this in bulk. I don't like ordering more than 5,000 because oftentimes by the time it's printed, one or two of the listings are wrong. It doesn't give hours or anything like that, and there's not room to add that. We need, again, it takes time for me then to update it each time and order more. And then I have to stay on top of it. Well, Travelocate is actually really, really good about now reporting to me what their stock is of brochures, so we can make sure they've got plenty, and I've got to make sure I've got plenty for trade shows of the latest version. And this is also being used not only, it's a one-size-fits-all piece. So not only is this our marketing piece, it's what people have available locally. It's what we send to the Lazy E. And I have a feeling that people locally maybe find this more useful than people planning their trip. Maybe not. Maybe they can go through and circle where they want to go. Yeah, the map too. I know here's the old viaduct pictured there that's changing. North is not really at the top of the map, so a lot of people I know don't know where they're at. It does tell you where some parking is downtown, and that's nice. There's a lot that's off the map, which that's just having to do with space anyway. People, I don't see many people on the list going down like this, and the print's tiny enough. I do see a lot of people like this. So I think that it becomes somewhat unwieldy for people who are using this as a guide to get around locally. And there's limited space. I don't know, in recreation and entertainment and some of the lodging, I've had to squish things together to fit all of our options in there because there's not space. And then again, we're shrinking down type and readability is affected. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we could think of some other solutions for this, and this doesn't have to be a quick thing. One of the things, the Chamber of Commerce has now put out a local directory, or is in the process of that. That's a draft of it. I think they said they're getting more.
That's it.
So that's it, yeah.
And it has all the same listings on the inside.
So that's something that's going to be a local product. I would suggest that we do a more generic external marketing piece that we can print that's good for a whole year, kind of like Travel OK does their annual travel guide, Frontier Country does their annual travel guide. Might even be good for longer than a year. I think it would be good to do heavy on the photos, and we could leave listings very generic. So, you know, we would highlight museums and things like that. We could do pictures of food, but we wouldn't have to necessarily say, you know, we could say, come check out our restaurants. Because it creates some interest if there's a little bit of mystery. You know, if you tell people, well, we've got Taco Bueno and Taco Mayo, and yeah. If you list all Mexican restaurants, that's great. They know their choices. They really don't know. But if they see a really good picture of Mexican food and you say, you've got Mexican food, go to our website. I know a lot of people are using that, or they're still going to ask someone locally which one's the best on the list. So that would still allow for that. That being said, I don't necessarily want to get rid of I don't want to completely get rid of a local product. We could probably serve the local market by having a map with like P, the little P in the circle for parking spots. We could do, you know, a little symbol of a fork and a knife for a restaurant. A lot of times, even when businesses change, they'll stay the same thing. A bar will stay a bar, a restaurant will stay a restaurant. It just may be that the food's different now. If you think of Legends, I think there's a Mexican restaurant going in there now. If we just put, you know, here's food. It might give people a sense of some of those areas without specifically listing businesses, so it may be a less time-sensitive product. We could do that in trifold, which would still fit into a brochure holder, so that we're not getting rid of something that would be useful locally.
So it wouldn't be something that big, like we open up this, you're saying just a.
Correct, it would be 8.5 by 11 trifold. A third thing I think we could do then, I think there's enough traction with Lazy Arena that we could do a trifold flyer with relevant listings and or QR codes for them. Things like hotels, feed and tax stores, auto parts, Walmart, laundromat, propane, RV parking, grocery stores, and a map from Lazy E to Guthrie so they see how close we are. Lazy E has told me that they would love a piece like that to even if we stuck in, like we did with Sundance, if we get a bag and we stuck a chocolate bar in it and one of those trifolds, when they go to meet with groups who are when they're doing proposals to try to attract events to them, that is a big driver to get them here. And not only that, then we've already made contact with the organizers of those external events coming to Lazy E. So they look at us at the get-go. We're not trying to, you know, just come in and set up a table when they've been doing their event for 4 years and they already know whether they're coming here or not.
Yep.
So that's one thing. But I wanted your input as far as what do you like about this? What do you not like about this? Do you want to change it? Do you think it's worth changing? What are some of the fears or problems we need to address? And I can get up and take notes, or I can just take notes down
So
here.
how many are you printing a year of these?
I want to say that I'm printing,
10,000?
or a little more. Yeah, and then that's going to go up the more, like with now us doing brochure fulfillment, we're going to use more. Now that we're doing travel and trade shows, we're going to use more. So last year I think it was 10,000. I'm expecting this year we're going to be printing more than that. Maybe 1,250, maybe 1,500.
Didn't you do
17,000, excuse me.
Didn't you do 3 orders last year?
I don't remember whether I did 2 or, well, I did, yeah.
I think you did 3 orders last year.
Yeah, but I think one of them was bumped into this fiscal year, so, yeah.
So my question is, where did some of these names come from? Why do we have Aaron's Gate Country Getaway in Edmond listed on here?
Well, my guess is this
It's in
is
Logan
still
County.
the chamber,
It's in Logan
it's in
County.
Logan County, yeah.
Mhm.
Because travel is regional, not just city.
Okay.
But yeah, I think part of it has to do with maybe they used to be a chamber member, and I've tried to go through this, but it's exhausting to try to keep up with this.
Well, because,
So.
and also under lodging, you have Rosabella guest rooms and you have Atomic Loft.
Mhm.
Right, because Rosabella's
Are
no
they,
longer.
huh?
It's no
Rosabella's.
longer Rosabella.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been going
It
for a
became
couple of years.
Atomic Love. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So you're, what you're saying is true.
It needs updating.
This needs updating already,
yeah,
That's right.
and it needs updating constantly.
yeah.
And this is the new one.
This is the new one that we got a month and a half ago.
That's why we're wanting to do something
Well,
different.
Right.
Yeah, it could be very streamlined because I had to use this today with customers that came into the store where I was working. 'Cause they wanted to know how many antique stores do we have. So I circled them and I thought, oh, but that one's closed until April. That one's no longer there, you know, so it was the issue today.
Yeah, I would rather people get a QR code on their list and snap it and go to our website, because I can update that a lot faster and easier than I can this. And that is free to update. We pay the one annual posting
And
fee,
every
and we're
phone
good
now
to go.
will scan a QR code without an additional app.
Mm-hmm, really.
Yes.
You know, I
I
love
do
maps
think-
and I
I do
love
think
going
definitely
to
think we
community
need
and
to
using these,
simplify it.
but this is
I don't know
so
how.
difficult for me to put this together with this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there's so much that's not on it. I wouldn't use
Yeah.
it if I was touring the town.
Yeah.
I think, I like this.
I do too. Well, wait a minute.
Oh.
And I like this. I like both.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that jumps out at me when I travel is when I'm looking, let's just say, I wanna go to, my wife wants to go to this particular shop. And we've got the address here, but you know what I like? I like a number
Yeah.
or
Right,
a
there's nothing on
letter
the
or
map to
something
get
that
you
says that, you know, Gallery of Furniture, of course, isn't on the map, but that's number one. So you look for number one.
Right,
You just can't.
yeah. it
Well,
needs
Well,
to
and
be
we really
simple.
can't fit all that in on
No.
a map and on something this size. I was gonna say, I should have told Aaron to pull it up, and I don't know if he still can. Aaron's awesome, I know it might be I don't wanna create a huge mess for him, but, if we go to GuthrieOK.com, I wanna say, I was just asked for, do you have a map of the antique shops? And we don't, but this is why I included this maps in this listing. There is a couple free things out there, free websites, mapcustomizer.com, and then there's one it also has a paid version, and then there's one I think it's easymapmaker.com. If we go to shop, www.GuthrieOK.com, shop, antiques, boutiques, and gifts, I'm waiting for my phone to load it. Anyway, under antiques, I've created a map, which has just what you said. On our website, there's a place you can click. To embed that, we have to pay, but just to link to their site, we do not. Takes you to Map Customizer. Here's a map with all of them on here and numbered listings with
So where's
their addresses
antiques?
next to them. So that's already, the capacity to do that is already online, and again, this can change anytime I need to alter it without having to go through the redesign and reprint of a map.
So go to
So
Burla could have pulled that up today and.
City-
GuthrieOK.com.
GuthrieOK.com.
Yeah, that's the tourism website.
Can
Yeah.
she send them a text or send them a?
Yeah,
Then-
she could do
Yeah.
this.
Hit antiques and there'd be a pointer that takes you there.
Yes, let me
You
pass
send
this.
them to
Let me
the
pass my phone around. You may have to touch it, but it's to keep it awake. But you
Yes.
can see the map.
Yeah.
And you can just use back.
Yeah, you can see it bigger on Dan's.
Do what?
Yeah, here,
Dan
may I hold?
Can
The
we?
bigger one.
So here,
Can everybody see the?
That's antique
that's the
stores.
map for the antique stores.
And so what I was doing was.
That's accessible on our website now.
So then he texted it to
I
himself.
just wanted to see.
So if Verla said, here's the map, she could text it to the customer.
Text it to me and that's what I got.
Great.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so, and that's free, and I can do that on our
And it's-
website.
And you just need to train us on how
So-
to use this.
Well, and every visitor that comes through town.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's why I'm saying, let's put a QR code on here saying,
I think
we've got
we need to
antiques,
advertise
couple pictures,
GuthrieOK.com.
QR code, they can snap it from
And
their
it goes
phone
straight
with
to
the
that.
picture, it will go
This is
straight to
awesome.
that, they can click on the map, and they can get an up to the minute, I say up to the minute, usually up to the week, cause I only usually get to updating the website about once a week.
And seeing something that Andrea and I talked about too is the website split up into these bold areas. And so what we've talked about is putting a QR code with shop, with eat, and put those in the different businesses. And so if you want to know where the restaurants are, you can just take a picture of the eat QR code and all the restaurants will show up.
Mhm.
Aaron just put it up.
And
Awesome, thank
so instead of instead of all the stores having to keep these, they can just keep QR codes on their counters, and you would photograph the QR code, and it would take you to whatever map you wanted to see.
And we could design something nice that's 8.5 by 11
Yeah.
sheet of paper that's fairly cheap to print.
Or they
That-
could put it in their window even.
Again, that could trifold so that even if they didn't want to stick it out, if they wanted something they could take with them and
This
carry
is the
with them and
coolest thing
snap
in the
different
world.
QR codes.
Because you just go down here on the side and you're looking for Country Corner and it pops it up with where it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can even put in the notes
So the
section.
mayor's wife
the
would be
hours.
happy.
You know,
I just
and
haven't got that.
and
that
the
far.
mayor, it's easy enough, so even the mayor can use it.
But what
To
you were
get his
talking
wife to the antique shop
There
he
we go.
wants to go to.
There we go.
This what you were trying to bring up though, is that it's okay to have an old school piece of paper
Mhm.
with that map on it, if I wanted to
is.
show somebody right.
Or yeah, or
If
I mean,
that's-
I don't know that it would have that map on it, but we could do an old school sheet of paper with the QR code that they could snap, or we could have the chamber directory, and I could hand out. We have maps, existing maps currently, that are just Guthrie Logan County maps that are just street maps. I could start
big.
handing those. Yeah, they are big.
So you don't have maps for each one like Fine Arts and.
No, I made a sample for tonight.
No, this is fantastic.
That's awesome. I
It
think it's
takes-
awesome.
Like anything takes time to build and do.
Oh, man,
so,
this is great.
And it didn't take that long though,
Mm.
considering. It really didn't. I've been pleased with using
Oh
that.
my gosh, this is fantastic.
So
I think
mean,
that's the way to go.
would you
Oh.
think doing a marketing piece with the QR codes and picture heavy, list all our events,
Yes.
keep
How
this
to
outside
on-
cover?
on how to use this and.
Yep.
Well, that's the other thing.
Mhm.
Every shop owner should know exactly how to use
That's
it.
right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
We need to.
They
Okay,
can pull
I need to
this
make
thing
time
out.
to educate them.
Well, after it's all done, we
Yeah.
could talk about it at every single merchant meeting.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, and
So-
chamber,
When I
chamber
go around
coffee,
and
we
hand
gotta have
out
a
the trifolds
demonstration.
with the QR codes with them,
Yeah.
I can say,
We can do a
here's
class.
this, here's what we do. I can go individually and talk
Yep.
through it with them and set up appointments.
Every
to do
person
that.
that works the front desk at every hotel needs to know how to navigate this.
Definitely. Well,
Seriously.
nowadays, every customer is very iPhone savvy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you check someone
they
in,
know to
they're
go to
right there on their
GuthrieOK.com.
credit card, okay, did you hit my account?
We just need little deals to go to GuthrieOK.com,
Yeah.
stuck on the front of your.
I think that's the
So,
way to
okay,
go.
so what do you
So-
think of doing for, I mean, do you still wanna
Right.
do kind of one marketing product that's used like this, that's both used locally and external, or would you be okay with a smaller flyer locally to reduce our printing
Small.
costs for
Yeah,
that, and then
small.
a large, pretty colorful piece
Want to
for
go
I would-
to
outside?
GuthrieOK.com is all I want.
I would do something like this, trifold with the QR codes.
I could almost see a trifold, cut this in half.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Just do.
Because everybody likes these two pages, right?
Yeah, that's right. Correct.
I mean, so that's what I would
Okay,
turn these two into a trifold with the QR codes.
or, well, I may do quad fold so it fits in the brochure.
Well, yeah,
more,
how-
but
yeah.
still, yeah.
And then, so we would do, and then we can bring
Double
that
parallel.
back to
You
the
do
next
away with the
meeting.
map.
Bingo.
What'd you say?
So you basically doing away with the map.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cause that's now digitally.
Yeah.
And we don't need all we don't need all the stores, because if they need all the stores, they can pick one of these up.
Yeah, that will be available locally, so. through
Or
the
go to
chamber.
GuthrieOK.com.
They're $10 each,
Or
by
go
the way.
to, or go to our website, because all the
Right,
listings are on there
right.
with the maps.
Right.
I'm
Working
gonna
on
get a
it.
bumper sticker that says go to GuthrieOK.com.
Yes.
Okay,
Check
cool.
this out.
Okay, what do you
Check
think
this
about
out.
the lazy E piece? I know I haven't done any writing up there, but I don't know that I need to.
No.
So that would be in their,
Package.
everything that they hand out at Lazy E?
Uh-huh,
whenever
that
they
would
have
be
an
a
event?
specific, it would, well, right now, we have this at Lazy E, which I don't think serves that population's needs very well. It doesn't show, I mean, it shows them that we've got some events and some neat places to eat and things to do. They're more concerned, I know, about restaurant hours, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And again, where can they
Like
go
dry
dump their RVs
cleaners
and where can
stuff like
they,
that.
where can they,
Yeah.
where can they make a Walmart run?
Yeah.
We're the closest possible place to serve them, and we're not telling them we have those things. I mean, I don't even know if Walmart's listed in this. That's my other thing with this,
Yeah,
is the
well,
listing space is just so
But I
limited.
mean, this connects you,
So-
the GuthrieOK.com connects you with the place's website if they've
Mhm.
got one and everything, right?
Well, we have a traveler's resources page on GuthrieOK.com that is probably be what I would push for Lazy E. I could do a postcard style one that's even smaller. I do like the idea of putting a chocolate bar with it for their proposals that they do. But we could do just the traveler's resource page of GuthrieOK.com, big QR code, because that does have car washes,
I would do
medical
that.
centers, grocery stores, banks and ATMs, things like that.
What if we did a card the same size as the chocolate bar?
Well, because the chocolate bar is really tiny.
Tiny.
I know, but if all you're doing is a QR code for out there to go to the traveler's resource page, it doesn't have to be big. And then you don't have to, it could either, you could do the little double-sided sticky squares.
Yeah,
It could stick on the back of the chocolate bar.
just do it.
You would have to do extra
I think
bags.
like business card size.
Well, I mean,
That would
whatever
be
size
about
the,
right.
whatever size the bar is. Cause you could do, visit Guthrie, here's your travel resources, QR code.
Do you think they'd see it? Or do you think they'd just be like chocolate, oh, rip the label off and.
Well, no, because you gotta,
That's what I'm
you gotta
wondering.
open the chocolate bar from the back side.
Yeah,
And the card would be on the back side of the chocolate bar.
I think there's an opportunity though to give a message to anybody that goes to the Lazy E, that we're interested in them. We want to
Thank you,
serve
Dan.
them.
what about rack card size? I'm still like,
Well-
well, we could still put
Well,
a
for the
place to stick
proposals,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Well, the thing is, like.
why wouldn't we
it-
give the chocolate bars for
Oh,
just the
that's
day
Well,
visitors?
forget about the chocolate bar.
Okay.
Well, you can put the chocolate bar, and then I'll eat the chocolate bar, and then I'll give them that card to each person who's.
Yeah,
visiting.
well, I'm saying we could do a bulk rack card with the QR code with a place to stick the chocolate bar or a business card.
I
I don't know.
Within the same area, something like that with the apps and the codes and stuff. If you could provide it with each hotel, we could give it to them when they check in.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I could
Bottom line,
very happily do that.
For the ones that stay in the hotel.
Yeah.
The ones that are bringing their RV,
Yeah,
you're.
we would have to find another way.
But it
because
just-
that's something.
but they have a check-in
Well,
office
yeah, when they
out there.
register or check in, it could be in their package.
Yeah, I would want to include the lodging QR code too, honestly, more than just traveler, and probably dining. So that would be 3 versus just 1 for Lazy E, because we do want them to figure out they can stay here, and we want them to see that they can eat.
Well, the thing is,
Why don't we just do the same thing that we're doing?
With the rest?
I mean, why don't we just do the same thing? I mean, if it's gonna
Because
have,
it's not, I don't know that we're gonna have travelers, do we want the travelers resources QR code on our regular
or if
advertising?
it's going
piece?
out, if it's going
I don't know.
out to bring people in, I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm here for a week, I may wanna know where I can wash my clothes.
That's true. I guess I'm wanting to customize, I'm wanting to be able to not have to sort through stuff that they're not gonna be as likely to use. And with an 8.5 by 11 or a single rack card, the printing costs are less than if we give them the full brochure.
I think there's some benefit to customizing it, and I think it also sends a message that we are interested in serving you. We want to serve you better. Your specific needs, which are gonna be more, there's gonna be more stuff with vehicles that break down, with horses, things that are involved with lazy activities, and of course, obviously, a little bit of shopping, but not necessarily boutique shopping, and groceries. I don't know, I think there's an opportunity
And
to create
the
a
other
message.
question, you said something about the food and that they want late night places to eat and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
or
I guess I have a challenge on that, is that, have we asked our restaurants how many calls are they getting for late night people saying, hey, we're on our way from Lazy E or anything like that? I mean,
I just knew feedback from Little Britches was pretty heavily that.
well, that's because Little Britches goes later into the night.
They do,
I mean,
that's true. I do know
I
that when
mean-
I came back from an event, the Wildlife Expo was letting out, and it was something like 8 or 9 at night, and I was eating at Staples, and there was
And
a
the
good
timed
crowd
events
there.
get out late.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't, not all events do, you're right.
I mean, in the motocross, it's late. the monster truck show that's gonna be out there in about a week, it's late. I mean, there's more late event, I mean, if I'm going and I'm coming back into town,
And I'm not
I mean, that's
dis-
even my thing, and I'm not from out of town. I mean,
I'm
when I
not
leave
disagreeing
there.
with that, I just, everything's gotta have a return on their investment for the restaurants.
Well, but that's what she's saying though, is on the piece with
And
the
I don't
QR
know.
code, the restaurant hours would be listed on our website.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so
I'm
when
ga-
they
I'm-
go, all they can
Yeah.
see, well, Arby's isn't open at 10 o'clock, I gotta go to
I'm game
McDonald's.
for that then.
Yeah.
Because it's just
Yeah.
like anything else, we can't really dictate to the restaurants, oh, by the way,
No.
come
No.
events in town.
No,
I'm not
we're
trying to do
just,
that at
we're
all.
just saying we
Well,
would wanna
purchases
keep it on the
account.
website, so when they
Okay.
hit the QR code, they can see the times.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
I mean, are you okay with me pricing either a rat cart or a trifold specifically for Lazy E that
I think so.
emphasizes those areas and is rodeo geared? Because this is pretty, but it doesn't say cowboys. We
Right.
love cowboys.
Right.
So,
I would
You
think
may
so,
love Cowboys.
And I think it carries a message to Lazy E,
yeah.
yes.
that we wanna partner stronger, more
Yeah,
strongly.
when
with
I
them.
mentioned it to Todd and I said, what if we did something specific? He was thrilled. He said, you think you could do that? We would love that. Anything that we could stick with our proposals or anything that would be more, because yeah, I mean, you guys have great events, but that's what we know about you is you're this cute little town to go visit later.
How many are you thinking of printing?
I'm just thinking of probably starting off, he said I could start with, 250 to 500 and see if we needed more than that.
I think 500 would be good, and we could even hand those out
So you have a
afterwards
lot of
if they don't
events.
use them.
They do have a lot of events, but that's one of those things, if we go through 500 for a couple events really fast, we can look at ordering more.
Okay.
And I would think that we could design something like that with the QR codes and with the pictures we have, both from ourselves and from Lazy. We might be able to design something simple like a rat cart or a trifold ourselves. So
Yeah.
designing in-house is gonna save us a lot, cause I got design quotes from a lot of groups and design costs are $4,000
Just to do the design.
for
Yeah.
this, yeah, just
Yeah.
for design. And the people are great to work with, it's not that, some of the designers have much better ideas than I do.
Well,
Many of the designers have much better ideas than I do, because they have backgrounds in it, but,
I like the rat card size to specialize, like what you're just saying. I think that's the right size to develop for
Yep.
Lazy E. Most people don't need a map anyway, cause they put the address in,
Yep,
so, or the name of Taco Bell and they'll show them where it is.
yeah.
yeah, well, and I can
There's
continue
so
to
much-
build more of those maps and link them through our website so that they have the options if they want.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for all that. Any other dessert?
Nope. Mayor, before you go real quick, I have a request. I'm skipping, but if Cheryl Padgett's not gonna be here as the next official member, can we check to see if there's another member of council? So that if you're not here, we can have council.
Well, I know Cheryl's had some illness, physical problems, but I'll check, sure.
It's just nice to have that tie-in with the council.
I had one quick question about apps too, since it was still on that.
Oh,
We may not wanna get into that tonight. I don't know what you guys want from an app. I really have no idea. I know I brought some quotes in last time
I have
that
no idea.
revealed that I had no idea. We can just, there's no real rush on that, I guess, cause we still got the mobile site. Are you guys concerned about apps? I've just had 2 or 3 board members come to me, last year at different times and say, we ought to look into apps, do some
Yeah.
research on apps. I had no idea what to look for.
I think we've got enough on our plate for you
Okay.
right now.
I do too.
Well, and I think if we can get people using the QR codes,
Yeah, that's-
we don't need an app.
To start.
I think if we do the QR
Start.
codes, if we could get the television thing up and running,
Mhm.
I think we've got more than enough on our plate. And then of course, we've got the new funding program,
Yeah, event support program
Event
for all
support
the
program.
administration involved in splitting up payments and checking.
So I think we've got enough on the
Going on.
plate.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
All right, Mayor,
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Mayor.
coming.
Okay, you
Thank
bet.
you.
Have a good night.
Jacket, see you all.
Cold out now.
All right, any other staff comments?
Yeah, well, I was gonna give you a slight report on the things I've been up to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, besides researching all of this stuff. Yeah, got us booked for travel trade shows through Travel OK. They went to the McAllen Winter Expo. Sorry, I printed off a page on that somewhere. I didn't pass that out to you all. Because I just got an email about it today. They had 8,755 attendees at the McAllen Winter Texan Expo, and we had 2,500 little of our logo imprinted chargers. Speaking of which, Vistaprint promotional products, they didn't do a quality print the first time around of the 1,000 that we ordered, or however many we ordered. I guess we didn't send, I think we sent 200, not 2,500, I'm sorry, and brochures. We sent brochures and our item. They said that when I sent them a picture of what they sent us and how it was smudged, and they sent us 900 replacement ones that are very nearly pristine as far as I can tell. So we have extra of those chargers. I'm probably going to be loading them up and using them a lot this year. Some of them do not reflect the quality that I would like us to present, but we have those. I went and toured the offices of Travel OK and met a lot of their staff. They were really receptive and very welcoming. The writer for Oklahoma Today, they said if we can get them information, they love Guthrie. The editor loves Guthrie. He would move to Guthrie if he and his wife didn't have the commute. They just went on and on about how much they loved it. So, and they even brought in Missy's Donuts that day. Independently, I did not bring them donuts. They stopped by on their way from a show and went through the drive-thru and picked up, and they were raving about Missy's Donuts, and nobody knew. So they like us there. That went well. And if we have articles or press releases, or if you're working with an organization or group that's putting on an event where you want them to do a story, if you can get it to me 3 months in advance, they are really happy to do things like that. They said they are looking for content. And that's with Travel OK, the writers with Oklahoma Today magazine. I believe it's Oklahoma Today, or, well, their production.
Okay.
Search engine optimization. I went through all this website grading stuff, tools and recommendations, and Wix, who hosts our website, has a lot of stuff. Our website is now search engine optimized. If you search Guthrie, Oklahoma travel, ours should be one of the top results in Google. So that was about 2 days of work, but I think it's really paid off because we now have analytics as well, which are in your report. You should have got a copy that looks like this. We started the tracking December 28th. Until January 18th, we had 515 visitors, 477 of them were unique, 1,144 page visits. The most of those were based in the US, in this Midwest area, but we did have some up in Washington, some near California. There's a little map. We even had 3 in Germany and 1 in the United Kingdom and 1 in China. So we're now getting data on our website. Let's see here, Frontier Country. I had that on my note. Been updating them on our regular stuff. They've called us, asked for updated brochures. I'm going to drive new ones down. If you're going to be in Norman before me in a couple of weeks, let me know and I'll send you brochures because they need new ones. Yeah, stickers and chargers. We sent 200 to McAllen Winter Expo. Sundance, we got the chamber helped. They created and designed the rack card. We did the printing and the chocolate bars. They had their volunteers stuff it all and take it down to Sundance. That is January 18th through 28th, I believe. So that's going on now. And One Stop Coffee Shop gave us a $20 discount on printing. So that came in under budget. I'm also starting a monthly newsletter. I'm hoping it'll go out the 15th of the month going forward, but it'll start actually February 1st, the February edition. I'm working on it now. I've got kind of 2 features. One of them's Valentine's Day sample itineraries, and the other one's Black History Month information. Because there's a few activities in town like Taste and Tell and Crown's Tea, which are unique to February and really unique to Black history. I might do an article on Langston as well. So anyway, I don't have a whole lot of people signed up yet, but as we get email addresses from Travel OK for doing brochure fulfillment, things like that, I will reach out and invite those people to join. So I suspect that will gain some traction as we go on. Yeah, I think that's got it. The other thing, tours. So the number one thing when people come to my office and they ask me, is there any historic tours? Do you have any information on the buildings downtown? We love the building downtown. Do you have information? Do you have information? This was an old piece. It's out of date. It was done by Steve Rice of Map Inc., which Steve is a wonderful guy. And if you ever have map making needs, I'm going to do a little plug for Steve because his company, they could use some business right now. And he's been really wonderful to work with and educated me a lot on printing costs, how to save money, products, things like that. He created this. This was through the old Chamber of Commerce. I will pass this around. I have been reprinting that, but again, it says things like the Banjo Museum, which no longer are here. I do have this too, that I have gotten permission from the Historical Society. I am waiting on permission from the docents of the Guthrie Museum Complex. And this has houses in it and history on it to digitize this and create a digital walking tour that people can again access through perhaps a QR code. I don't know if I will get it done. This is something long-term, but
Or a project for
yes,
intern or
volunteer. But I've got to finish getting permission to digitize all this, to use it, and we got to give credit, but this would give people an option for that. Do you want me to pass this around?
I'm good with it until you get permission on it.
Yeah, I figured as much. Those are some of the things that I've been working on this last month outside of what you saw in your packet.
Very good.
Okay.
And we're going to Wichita Falls.
And we're going to Wichita Falls. We have booked our room, although I'm a little nervous because I found out today, I think they said that the expo was just going to be Saturday, and now I guess there's time that they're open on Sunday. Yeah. So I still need to reach out to some of the other people that are going and see if maybe they,
Are you guys going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Verlin and I are going February 10th.
I told you I'd go. That's my old stomping grounds down
Oh,
there.
yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it starts early Saturday, so we're going.
We're going on Friday because setup's from
then-
1 to 5 Friday night.
Then you
And
guys
then
can, yeah, no.
I need to talk with Travel OK and see if we need to be there on Sunday. I hate to miss out on the exposure, but it's hard for me to give up a whole weekend, and then
That's
that's
the
double
ladies'
the
one?
hotel room too. It
That's
is.
the ladies' one.
Okay.
So what are this-
Comments from the board, anybody
Well,
got?
Oh,
as
I
far as
guess-
me, mine's all just self-explanatory. You got Facebook numbers
Yep.
that I get out every month, so you can read that on your reading pleasure. There's a few extra pages this month because I found 2 different sources that would give us some different numbers on different things, and so you have a few more papers than normal, but if you have questions you can ask, but most of it's self-explanatory.
I forgot to tell you too, if you see the colored pages left out there, the city manager asked that I please apply for the Community Leadership Development Conference through Oklahoma Municipal League. It's a training that they host across cities. There's a session on economic development and tourism development August 3rd. I did not pick the hotel. You picked the hotel, because I said I don't feel ethically like to pick a hotel. But I got quotes from everybody. So this is the proposal that I submitted last week, and they'll let me know if it's gonna happen or not. So they said it's between 25 and 50 people that usually show up. It'll be August 2nd, 3rd or so.
And where's that,
and
here in town?
It
or
would
in
be here
Oklahoma?
in town if we're chosen.
So who's coming? Who's it for?
Oklahoma Municipal League. So all the members or cities in Oklahoma are different groups dealing with civic,
So where would we
management
host it?
organization.
The temple?
Our
Sports
proposal
museum, wasn't it?
was for, they had to do lodging, meeting facilities. We talked to Territorial Capital Sports Museum. That's
Oh, okay.
basically, I gathered all the data. I brought it to Leroy. He made the choices about what we were
And-
gonna include in the
And
application.
you apply.
And I
Okay.
applied, so.
Okay. Cool.
So anyway, they wanted to do activities and tours and, yeah, just so you at least know that there was an application put into for an event, hosting event.
And then the only other thing I saw, just real quick, that is in your packet, you guys can read it. News Leader included what their first month of results were from what we agreed on last month. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then, any other comments, anything that we need to put on the agenda for February? Keep in mind, we're gonna talk money giveaway, so probably wouldn't mind keeping it pretty light so we can delve into the scorecards and the
I know
event.
I'll bring the Red Bud package.
And the event support, yeah, and we got Red Bud packet coming back in February. Anything else, anyone? HC,
I'm good.
Jeremy,
Nope.
Shirley? Do I have, can I adjourn?
I guess.
Anything else?
Yep.
We're adjourned.